What is up, guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are now back with Final Fantasy XIV, the re-released MMO. Obviously, most people know that this was attempted to be released last year, I think it was. There were a lot of issues, so they basically just shut the game down and reworked it. And I want to say they've done a fantastic job with doing so. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you an introduction to the game. Before I do that, I'm going to give you an introduction to the character creation area. I've obviously already, what you're looking at here is my established Lancer, but I'm going to show you how to do this yourself. So first thing you'll be presented with is the new character selection. One thing I will say is before that is right here you see I've got an option to load appearance data. What that means is that when you make a character, you are actually able to save the appearance. You're able to save all the specifics you've set into that character, so that if you want to make another character that looks exactly the same, or you want to remake the character and have it look exactly the same, you don't have to go through all the options again. You can literally select the slot and he'll come right back just as he was, obviously without the armor that I have now. Okay, so you've got all your basic options here right now. You've got a lot of options. Some options are a little lacking, some options are a little excessive. You can set your height, all the muscle tone, skin colors, hair, etc. The couple of restrictive ones are things like facial features and facial hair. You either have facial hair or you don't. There's no real setting it. Scars, etc. There's a lot of customization and there's some lacking. There is a voice section in this. Now, the thing with the voice section is it's actually not really a vocal. There's no real voice acting in this game. It's got your typical Final Fantasy text, read the text thing. There are some minor voice acting throughout the game, although there could be more towards the end. And hopefully when they do the end game content, there will be with the the raid bosses and the PvP, etc. But we'll see what happens there. I basically just selected the voice on what kind of sounds manly. Like that. It gives you a preview when you click it though. So when you've selected all of this and you've gone through and you've got him looking right, you want to hit confirm. And at this point, it'll give you the option to save appearance data. Usually you just want to click yes, save it to a slot and go on your merry way. I'm going to not save him because I've already done it. Now, you get the option to basically set yourself a little bit of a mini bio. So you set your birth date, which I'm just setting now. You get to set a deity or a religion in the game. Now, the religions themselves aren't massively different. The thing to take note of is that every religion kind of provides a different set of attributes for resistance to elements. They're not massively different. Like you'll see the numbers, they're all kind of over 50. But certain ones say, like this one, the Azema, has, say, a very heightened resistance to fire elemental and only, say, 50 to whatever this is. I'm not quite sure. Whereas, say, Halone here has a heightened nature resistance but has a lower fire resistance. The difference is literally like between 2 to 4, but you get the point. One thing I missed was back in the character creation, you will get to choose a clan when you choose your race. Now, the clans, basically every race has 2 clans, and the difference between the 2 clans is the same sort of thing. There'll literally be 1 to 2 difference in each of the attributes. Now, from what I can tell is that actually you're talking in the game on the gear, at least by the time I am now level 17, is that the bonus attributes on the gear is literally 1 or 2. So how much of a difference it's going to make in endgame, I don't know. It could make a difference, it could not, but all I did was kind of looked up on the wiki what I wanted to make, what their primary stat was, and went for the best option I could that looked decent and appealed to me. So I'm going to go with Rauga because I can, and he's like a god of destruction, and I'm going to kick ass, so that was my plan. Once you've gone through there, you get to choose your class. So I choose Lancer. You have the Disciples of War and Disciples of Magic. What you're going to want to do is decide what your end game class is. I will be explaining that a little bit more in the later game, but the basic thing to do is to know that to reach a true class, you need a combination of 2 lesser classes on one character. So I'm just going to choose, say, Lancer right now and confirm it. And once you've done that, you will literally be able to create or select your server. A lot of them are locked down at the moment. The populations are going through the roof, and it is making things a little bit more difficult, but there's not a lot you can do about it. Just kind of wait it out, guys. Have some patience. Trust me, it will all sort itself out. It's just standard MMO stuff. I'll just select this one. Confirm. They use more roleplay names in this sort of game, like a first name and a second name. Mine is literally just Psycholex, surname TV, but some people have gone for obviously more creative stuff. I'll just set the same here. TV2. There we go. Confirm it. You get the option to begin a new game. And you're away. Okay, guys, so here we are. We are now in the game. This is my level 17 Lancer with someone's chocobo in his head. Basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction to the gameplay itself. As you can see, it's a very pretty game. Like, the graphics are kind of awesome. This isn't even on the max settings. I kind of have it knocked down a little bit so I can stream and YouTube record without any issues. What you are seeing here, basically, is we are in the area of Aleport. Which is a little bit of a ways into the game now. We are starting to get somewhat of an idea of what we're doing. One thing I will say is that some of the directions, like working out where you're going, can be a bit of a pain. Like, you actually have to really pay attention to what you're doing, read a little bit, and look carefully at the map to work things out in some cases. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It kind of makes you keep paying attention. At the same time, it can do your head in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through like a quick quest, what's called a levy quest. I think I'm saying that correctly. A levy quest is basically an area, a solo event that you do in the, like, it's normally initiated in a local area. You initiate it yourself when you're ready. You pick it up from a levy meet or a levy mater or wherever you say this. And they're normally marked by the silver card with an exclamation mark. I'm just going to take a Battlecraft one. We'll do the first to read one. Okay. So, now that we've picked up the quest, standard controls, we're going to take a quick run up into the area. When you look at the minimap, or the map, sorry, you'll see two types of circles in most areas. These blue ones are what we call fates, and a fate is basically a localized area where everyone can participate in what kind of like an area quest where you kill certain mobs and normally a boss in the middle or a boss mob as a group. When you kill them, everybody in the area gets XP if they participated. The orange one will be one of two things. If you're on an active quest, then that will be where your objective is. If this is a levy quest, then this is where you will go to initiate it, or where the quest will start. So before we get going here, I'm just going to go through a basic couple of things in the UI. Your controls are pretty similar to most MMOs. You've got your standard W, A, S, and D cluster, mouse controls. You've got your hotbars, which are rebindable. You actually have an option to turn on 4 more horizontal bars and 4 vertical bars, which brings you to a total of 10 bars. I don't think you're going to need them all, but it's kind of handy. A lot of the UI is very fluid. For example, you can just click and drag these things. At the moment, there's no mods for it. I'm guessing there probably won't be, and I've not known that to be the case in the history of Square and their games of anything like this. Down in the bottom right here, this little grid, it kind of shows you the status of your inventory bags. One thing to note is with inventory storage, the storage, what you see here in the inventory is kind of just random items. You have important items like quest items, key items in a separate bag, and you also have your armor and weapons kept in an entirely separate inventory accessed through the character menu. Everything's sorted into slots. You know, so it's a very, very organized system. You can definitely keep things in track and you won't run out of room too easily. Saying that, I'm not far in the game, I could easily run out of room, I guess. Okay, so while we're looking at this set, you've basically got your character setup. Once you get to the level 15 area and you complete your second class set of quests, you will be able to unlock what's called gear sets. I haven't used them yet, but from my understanding, they're basically like the wardrobe stuff from the other MMOs like World of Warcraft, etc. Okay. Other things to look at on here is you've got your profile, which case of kind of just gives you the bio sort of thing, the stuff that you set up in the character creation menu. Your classes. Now, my understanding of this is this, and I could be wrong, so anyone who wishes to comment and correct me is more than welcome to. You can make a character, and that character can be any class they want. So if you make a Lancer, you can effectively switch to any class you want by having leveled up the class and switching the weapon. When you switch to another class, you will gain access to a new set of skills, and you'll retain like one skill from the past class. So it gives you a great amount of flexibility in late game if you really want to grind all the classes and just switch gear. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I've been told. Now, the thing to remember with classes is that you start off picking a class. In this case, mine is a Lancer. At level 30 is kind of the time when you want to stop leveling that class, and you will need to select a second class to level. Once you reach level 15 with the second class, you'll have access to the true class or the advanced class. In my case, I'm going for a Dragoon. I can't remember the combination, but it's level 30 on Lancer, and then it's level 15 on, I can't remember. I think it's Marauder. I may be wrong. It may be Pugilist or something. But basically, the advanced class takes a combination of the two classes that made it in skills and attacks, gives you a few new attacks, takes away a few skills, and gives you basically a super class, which you then level to level 50. You've got your currency window, but at the moment it's just Gil, but there may be like PvP currencies, etc. I don't know, I haven't got that far. Oh look, there we go, gear sets. So you can set gear sets just like the other stuff. As a Lancer, your primary stat is strength. You have your elemental resistances and your other properties right here. Okay. So let's get on with the game itself. I want to give you guys just a brief demonstration of what it's like to do a quest, so you guys can see the combat, the general mechanics. One thing I will say about the combat is it's very flashy. It's very, very flashy. There's a lot of animation. The global cooldown on the abilities is a little bit slower than I'm used to, but I think it's more there to compensate, to keep the combat smooth. There is a lot of animation, but the way they've done it is very smooth. There's not a lot of clunkiness, and I'm very, very impressed with it. So I'll go through this and give you a quick rundown. So to activate the Levy quest, basically what you want to do is you want to press J to open up your quest journal. You want to select the quest, and you want to click Initiate. Ignore that. You will get to select, if you're slightly higher than the basic quest, you can set the quest plus a couple of levels to match your own level, increase the XP reward. You know, just kind of match it to your ability so that you get the correct, get everything out of it. So we're going to confirm that and start the quest. The duty is commenced. So what we want to do is we want to get into this yellow marker and see what we've got to do. So for this one, we've got to run to the locations, which in this case are marked by these glowing orbs. So we're going to sprint over to that. One thing to note is that you get the sprint at level 1. You get a sprint straight from the beginning, which is kind of nice. Okay, I'm not sure if it's... no, it's the Drowned Out range. There he is. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start pounding him into oblivion. Come on. One thing I will say is to pay attention to the skills. Like, it took me a long time to realise that this skill, Full Pull Thrust, is actually a combination skill. It does more damage if it's comboed off of another skill, like the first skill, which is True Thrust. Okay, so once you've completed that section, it will flash up in the middle in blue saying you've completed the objective. It's time to move on to the next one. Let's check where the next one is. We'll go this way. La la la, running, running, running. Oh, what I would give for a mount. You get mounts at level 20. If you get up to the Collector's Edition, you'll also get access to the other mount, which I can't remember the name of. There we go. There's the enemy to kill in this area. Combo point. Area of effect attacks get marked quite clearly on the ground, like you just saw the red triangle. It's a case of stepping out of them. You do get a lot of potions. These ones are slightly weakened. They don't really match my level anymore. I haven't really seen anything stronger, but there are a lot of professions like alchemy, etc. So that could easily be my bad for slacking. Okay, we've got 2 mobs to kill on this one. There you go. You see those boxes? Basically, you want to step out of those boxes. Those boxes will give you clear marking of where their attack's going to hit. It's actually very accurate. I haven't noticed many bugs with the hitboxes themselves, which is kind of impressive. I'm very, very impressed with the smoothness of this combat. It's very pretty. It's very well done. It's a little slower than I'm used to. I won't argue that. Most MMOs, like say WoW, has maybe a second global cooldown, whereas this is probably 1.5-ish. I do apologise for comparing certain aspects to WoW, but I mean it's easier to compare to things that most people know than to not have any frame of reference. I don't actually like comparing it because everybody makes the mistake of, you know, comparing everything to World of Warcraft and then they're disappointed when it doesn't match up, etc. Whereas the game needs to be looked at in its own respect. Now, come on. Right, so I'm going to use a skill here. Basically, we get a skill called Lake Sweep, which allows me to stun him. Then I run behind him, and I have like an ability here. Impulse Drive, which does more damage when delivered from behind the target. Okay, we're missing something. Oh, there we go. So it's all complete. The duty is complete. It then gives you the option, once that quest is complete, to return to the levy meet, where you can just turn it in and be done with it. So once it catches up with it, there we go. Talk to him. Collect a reward. And complete. There we go. So that's just a basic introduction to questing and the combat system. One thing that I found very interesting at the moment is that your methods of getting around are very, very good, assuming that you pay attention and you visit the various places. On the map, I will show you. So this larger crystal is... I can't even remember what it's called. I'm going to run over to it now. 1 second, guys. There we go. It's an aephorite. Okay, now these big aephorites are basically like Hearthstone points. You can discover them, and then you can set your home to them. When you have access to them, you can use them as a Hearthstone or an inn to get back to with the return command. Mine is currently set to that place, which I can't remember. I think it's one that I kind of skipped through on the way here. Now, the other thing to remember is that you also get one called Teleport. Teleport is the one that allows you to hop between the major places. The places where you've bound to the aephorite is where you can hop to. The other thing to take note of is once I've teleported back, I'm going to teleport back to the starting zone for my Lancer, which is New Gridania. Again, very smooth animations. I'm very impressed with those. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we are now back in New Gridania, which is the starting zone for the Lancers. Once you're here, I'm going to open up the map again and I'll show you the other form of aephorite, which is not in this map. Oh, yes, they are. There we go. I'll head over to it now. Dum da da dum da da dum dum, shiny scalpel. Here we go. Run faster, you bugger. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. So what you have here is what's called an Aethernet shard, and basically these shards are scattered throughout every city. When you bind to the shard, it will basically give you the ability to quick travel between every area in the city. So right now I'm going to say I'm going to go back to the plaza because I'm going to show you the other mode of transportation. So the other mode of transportation for you to be aware of is basically your travel paths or flight paths or chocobo paths. That's right, we get to rent chocobos. When you go to a village, you see this sign on the map, go to it, register yourself with the innkeeper. talk to him, rent a chocobo, and literally select where you want to go. This one, I can... Oh, I'm actually... I didn't know this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm actually being it up. I'm actually able to rent a chocobo for 10 minutes for 80 gil. Let's see what this is. Come on. So, guys, I've not tried this before, so you're seeing this for the first time just like I am. Oh, okay. So it looks like I now have access to like manual control of it for 10 minutes. I believe if you get off it, that's it. You get off it. So it's 80 gil, so it gives you kind of free access to the area. I'm guessing it doesn't work in other cities. But yeah, that's kind of nice. So the last thing I'm going to go through quickly is just the general nodes on the map. Just quickly, because I found it very confusing, so I think it would be nice if you guys had somewhat of an idea what you were doing. So this is your map. Basic icons is that's an aetheryte. That's the big hubs where you register with, like you bind to and you travel between the major cities. There's your chocobo innkeepers. These quests, obviously this is a levy meet, so the quest sign within the kind of silver card, that's where the initiable quests are. The gold bags are the merchants that are around. A mailbox or a mogul. And here, this icon is basically you have a quest waiting. If that icon is red, it means that you have a quest there that you can't accept yet because you're either not high enough level or you don't meet the requirements. If it has the... When you have a quest to turn in, it will basically be the similar icon, but it's green with a tick in it. That means the quest is complete, you can go turn it in. If it's red, it means you've got the quest, but you haven't finished the quest. Or, you know, it's a very funny system. Like, for some reason, you have to talk to that guy, or you have the essentials to complete the quest, but you need an item, or something like that. It's something stupid like that, but it will make sense to you as you go. The last one that you can't see here will be basically the same circle, but it will have like a play sign, like the sideways triangle. And that is an objective. That is where there is an objective for you to talk to someone. Okay, so that's the basic rundown of it, guys. So I'm hoping that helps, and I'm hoping it gives you a basic idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop off this chocobo. I miss you, little man. I'm going to close these tooltips. There are tooltips popping up all the time, so make sure you read them. Get yourself a good idea. If you get stuck, you've got all these options. If you don't know your binds, you've literally got all your emotes, your inventory, actions, characters, all of that sort of stuff. You can definitely learn stuff if you really pay attention. So there we go. You've got your basic 20-second logout screen. Okay, so that is your basic introduction to Final Fantasy XIV. As I say, it was redone. It's been changed a lot. I didn't play the first one, but from what I've told, it's massively improved. I'm very happy with it. There are issues trying to log into the servers because it is overpopulated. Like every MMO, I'm getting kind of tired of people saying, "Oh, this is horrible. Why is it so horrible?" It's like, it's an MMO, you know, guys. Come on, everybody has this trouble with an MMO. It's common knowledge. If you don't like it, don't play this style of game. It's pretty simple. Or wait a couple of months and do it when it's ready, you know. But yeah, there you go, guys. So I'm hoping that was helpful for you. Do me a favor, like the video and leave a comment if I've done it. If there's something you know about this game and I've said something wrong, because some of this stuff is assumption stuff I've been told. So, you know, just tell me, give me a comment. You don't have to be rude about it. Leave me a comment, and I'm happy to read it. I'm happy for advice. Do me a favour and subscribe to the channel. I will be playing this game rather heavily over the next few days on the live stream. So come over to twitch.tv/Psycholex. One thing I will say is that due to the current copyright enforcement with Square Enix, we are unable to stream or show gameplay with our own music. So there will be no music on the live stream while I'm playing. It will be pure gameplay and game sounds. But hopefully you guys will enjoy it, and I'll catch you there. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll catch you later.